Yeah, but the other thing is I think the significance of them doing it in this way and being able to keep the secret from the press, as we've just heard, kind of seems to be a coup for them, right? Yeah. This is kind of like a real giggle moment for them. Like, yes, we did it. We've managed to reassert ourselves on our terms. We've come back to the UK. We have been in charge of how this information is released. And I think all those things would be a plus for them. On a really simple note, right? They're just a family like anyone else.
What we do know is the king has only just found out, and that's extraordinary, isn't it? That's what we know. That's true. That's extraordinary.
The fact is,
that doesn't suggest a reconciliation has really taken place.
Can we wish them well? Can we say welcome back?
Let's ask Pat in Ayrshire. Can we wish them well and say welcome back?
Absolutely. If this is true, then absolutely fantastic.
Great.
But no one, not you press, not the media, actually know any facts. You're all guessing.
Well, look, it's part of the job. Well, I hope you're not criticising us for guessing. I mean, what else? We've got to have a hobby, you know.
Have you heard Harry say this?
What, that he's coming? So you think he may not be coming back?
We've not heard anything from the Sussex side of the people saying they are coming to the UK. So you're all guessing.
Well,
you don't know.
These are well-sourced articles, and I do believe they would have been denied. Okay, no, fine.
Well, they would have been.
So you think they may not be coming back? Okay.
Let's face it, you've bashed Meghan for the last 10 years. You haven't learned anything from Caroline Flack or the young professor chap the other week.
Well, say his name if you're concerned about him.
So why don't you... I can't remember his name.
Well, yeah, Jason Arday.
I know it's James something.
No,
Jason.
It's not. It's Jason Arday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, has the press learned nothing over these last 10 years? Because you're still bashing her, and you're still going to bash her when she comes back.
Well, I'm not, and I think she's a great person, but I note that there are people who are not impressed with her, and maybe we shouldn't put them through to the show, Pat, but we put you through.
Yeah, but it's only because she's American.
So I don't know what it is, Pat. Yeah. I don't know. Listen, I'll tell you what my theory is. I think when they got married... Hang on, stop just a sec. When they got married, there was a massive moment where we all kind of fell in love with them as a couple. I think their wedding was astonishing. And this is just my thing. I think William and Catherine, who were looking like the dull other couple, and I think there was a bit of briefing from their camp, and it all got out of control. That's what I think. Pat, that's what I think happened.
Oh, definitely.
Anyway, listen, thank you for watching, despite your many doubts.
Oh, I like Pat. She's great, isn't she?
Well, yeah, we like to mix it up here. But I do think...
He released a book, Spare, which dishes a lot of dirt, and the Oprah interview dishes a lot of dirt. So they have kind of broken ranks.
I think
I don't get... I'm with Pat in that I don't get the visceral hatred for Meghan. I don't understand that.
There have been lots of assessments, and sure enough, this is internet sleuths and sort of influencers who have put side-by-side coverage from the papers of what Meghan and what Kate get.
Ridiculous.
And you put side by side exactly how they're treated in the media. And Pat is 100% correct. Well, it is appalling seeing what Meghan gets and the way they talk about it, making sure that the quiet part stays quiet, right?
Yeah, but hang on. She accused the royal family of racism and she never backed it up.
What do you mean she never backed it up?
She's held back on detail, which
she said there were concerns about literally these words. There were concerns and conversations about how dark the baby's skin was.
Right,
but you find that hard to believe. It's not that hard to believe.
No, not for me either.
It's plausible.
No, I don't. That may not be racist, but we know concerns suggest the royal family were worried, and that then spiralled into
the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip saying. You could imagine.
Yes, he's been caught saying blunder after blunder about people from Africa and Kenya and stuff. So it's ultimately.
Okay, I'm just saying that's why people took against.
But if she said too much, then we would be sat here saying, "Oh, look at her exposing the royal family." Like they can't do right for doing wrong.
All right, well,
Squaddies, we need to talk about what just happened live on UK radio. Jeremy Vine had a panel on air reacting to the news that Harry and Meghan are reportedly moving back to the UK. And for a few minutes, something genuinely rare happened. A British radio panel, the kind of show that usually treats Meghan discourse as a punchline, turned around and called out the tabloid press to its face. On air. In real time. A caller rang in and told the entire panel point blank that they'd spent 10 years bashing Meghan and hadn't learned a single thing from it, and instead of laughing her off, the panel agreed with her. One of the hosts said, flat out, she doesn't understand the visceral hatred for Meghan. Another host pulled up the receipts on the Kate versus Meghan coverage comparisons that squaddies have been making for years, and admitted on air that the criticism is accurate. Let's set the scene. The news had just dropped via the Telegraph, then picked up by basically every UK paper, that Harry and Meghan are planning a move back to Britain with their children reportedly enrolled at a British school. The panel spent the better part of 20 minutes speculating on motive. Is it about King Charles's health? Is it about the children's education? Is it a chess move timed for when the royal rota is on holiday? And here's the thing the panel itself admitted. None of them actually knew. At one point, a caller pushed back hard on the panel's confident theorising, essentially accusing the media of presenting guesswork as insight. And instead of denying it, the host basically shrugged and said, "That's the job. We guess." Squaddies, sit with that for a second. This is the same press machine that spent a decade presenting speculation as fact when it comes to Meghan. Sources say, insiders claim, palace aides reveal, and here, live on air, a host all but confirmed, it's a hobby. It's guessing dressed up as journalism. That's the rota in one sentence. Then a caller, we'll call her by her first name, as she gave it on air, rang in, and the temperature of the whole segment shifted. She told the panel directly that the press has spent the last 10 years going after Meghan, and asked whether they'd learned anything from it, invoking the memory of Caroline Flack and the recent tragic case involving a Cambridge professor, both held up as examples of what relentless media pile-ons can do to a person's mental health. This wasn't a soft, "aren't the papers a bit mean sometimes" comment. This was a direct accusation, live on the BBC's airwaves-adjacent commercial radio slot, that the press bears responsibility. And it landed. One host tried to deflect, insisting he personally thinks she's a great person, while admitting some people aren't impressed with her. The caller wasn't having it. She pointed out that it's not really about personality at all. It's about her being American. And nobody on the panel disagreed. Let that sink in, squaddies. This wasn't us saying it. This wasn't a Sussex squad account on X. This was a caller into a mainstream British radio show, and the panel didn't argue the point. They moved past it because they couldn't counter it. Here's where it gets interesting. One of the panellists, an Australian commentator on the show, said something you almost never hear, acknowledged this plainly on UK radio, that she doesn't understand the visceral hatred directed at Meghan and that it blows her away sometimes. She went further. She pointed to something squaddies have been documenting for years without mainstream credit, the side-by-side comparisons. Internet sleuths and independent commentators, real people doing real analysis, unpaid, in their spare time, have spent years lining up how the tabloids cover Kate versus how they cover Meghan. Same behaviour, same outfit choice, same pregnancy update, completely different framing, warm and relatable for one, calculated and demanding for the other. And on this broadcast, the panellist didn't dismiss that body of work. She called it appalling. She said the press makes sure the quiet part stays quiet. A startlingly honest admission that there's a deliberate managed double standard running underneath the coverage, not an accidental one. This is the moment, squaddies. This is a mainstream commentator confirming on air what the receipts accounts have been building spreadsheets about for 6 years. We're not imagining the double standard. Even people paid by the same media ecosystem that manufactures it are starting to say the quiet part loud. Naturally, it didn't stay comfortable for long. Another host pushed back on the sympathetic read, bringing up the 2021 Oprah interview and arguing that Meghan accused the royal family of racism and never backed it up. This is one of the most persistent, bad faith talking points in the entire Sussex discourse, and squaddies know it cold. So let's watch what happened when someone actually said it out loud to people who know the facts. The panel didn't let it slide. It was immediately pointed out that what was actually said in the interview was specific. There were concerns and conversations about how since day one. Say too little, and you're accused of lying. Say too much, and you're accused of betrayal. There is no version of honesty that would have satisfied her critics, and for a few minutes British radio admitted it. Here's the bigger picture, squaddies. This wasn't a friendly YouTube commentary channel. This wasn't a Sussex sympathetic podcast. This was a mainstream, often sceptical, sometimes outright hostile UK radio panel. The kind of show where Meghan jokes are usually the easy laugh line. And for 4 minutes, the tone flipped. A caller held the media to account on air. A panelist admitted the hatred doesn't make sense to her. Another panelist confirmed the Kate-Meghan coverage disparity is real and deliberate. And when the tired she never backed it up line got trotted out, it got dismantled in real time, with the actual quote and the actual double standard laid out plainly. This is what accountability sounds like when it happens by accident, live, without a script. It's proof that you don't need to be a Sussex Squad account to see the pattern. You just need to actually listen to what's being said instead of what you've been told to believe about it. If this clip made your blood pressure do something, you know exactly what to do. Drop a comment telling me what stood out most to you. Was it the quiet part stays quiet line, or the can't do right for doing wrong? Comeback? Both are going straight into future receipts videos. Hit subscribe if you want more of this. Full breakdowns of the coverage, the panels, and the double standards backed up every single time with actual sourcing. Squaddies, as always, keep the receipts coming, and I'll see you in the next one.